Another week, another watch list. Here's what I'm taking a look at this week and where I'm setting my levels. On the screen here, start with QQQ. This purple line here at 7:14.22, if I go down to the 30 minute, you kind of see kind of a major level for QQQ. At first, we were going up to the level, rejecting it, coming back down, staying below it, came back up, kind of hit its head on the level again, went lower. Then we went above the level and started to retest it. You can see this kind of consolidation above there and started to push higher. Then we gapped down and we had a nice break and retest of that level, and we are continuing to stay under that 714 area. Not really looking to trade QQQ, but just something to keep an eye out for. I typically just set my highs and lows of the previous day candle. So the high was pretty close, just slightly above that 714 line that I have set there. But I will set that high there. I'll set the low of this candle. Kind of came down to that daily 9 EMA. We didn't quite touch it, but we could be bouncing off of that level and pushing higher. Might need a little cool down period. As you can tell, the market has just been going up and to the right for a little while now. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. SPY, kind of similar here. I'm going to switch these levels here to previous day low, previous day high. And let's take a look at the 1 hour. So maybe it's the 30 minute. Trying to remember what time frame I set this level up at, but kind of similar idea. Coming up to this 740 area, hitting its head on that level, and then pushing lower. Then we come back up, kind of retest it, end up coming down, and then we break, and we're higher than the level. Now currently, we broke back below, and we are kind of pushing away lower from that level there. So just kind of keeping an eye on that 740 area. I'm trying to take a look at the 15 minute here. Can't remember where, maybe it was a week. No, definitely not a weekly. But just a level of interest. Again, I don't trade SPY or QQQ, but it's just something to make note of. Pretty similar story with SPY compared to QQQ. It just came down to the daily 9 EMA, and we might be pushing higher tomorrow off the 9 EMA. We could break the 9 EMA and then head down towards the 20 EMA, the daily 20 there. I keep forgetting what color I made the 20, but there you have that. Let's see here. Then we have the 50 and then the 200. All right, moving on to some individual names here. I made a fantastic trade on Apple on Friday that I'll be reviewing somewhat shortly here. But I took a break and a retest of previous day high, that yellow line there. Psych level as well, that 300 area. So break, retest, I bought calls here, and then I rode it up to around this 303-ish level here. And then we actually came back down, retested this area. Again, this purple line is the highs from Wednesday, and we came back and we retested that area perfectly. I really honestly wish I was watching again, because this would have been a fantastic re-entry here, but I'll go into a little more detail in a review on that Apple trade a little later. But setting my alerts for Apple for tomorrow, I'll mainly look, see if we can get back up above that kind of 300 area. That definitely seems to be a level of interest. Let me turn these off, just kind of get rid of some of the noise. But you can see, went up to this 300 level, kind of hit our head on it, came down lower, came back up to this level, hit our head on it again, and then we just kind of trended lower, down towards this 295 area here, where you can see these multiple touch points here. And we broke below, but then we broke back above, came back into this range, and then we break, and then we retest with this 300, but now we're under 300, so let's see if we can kind of reclaim that level and get a nice break and retest tomorrow on it. We'll see. But I'll set my alert. Actually, I'm going to set my alert right on that level there. All right, MU, I have an alert up here at all-time highs, that 818 level. I probably won't change that. Looks like we're came down, tested that daily 9 EMA. Let's see if we get a break higher towards all-time highs. Don't really love this setup. I'm gonna move down to the strong section of my watch list. Moving on to Intel. We broke the daily 9 EMA. We kind of retested this 106 level pretty perfectly. You can see some really nice price action around this level, this 106. It looks like we have a pretty solid level at this 106 area. You can see all of the retest candles here. We break it and we retest. We rip higher, come back down, retest that level, push higher, then start to come back down, bounce off the level, really rip to the upside around the 130 area, and then we come back down. So it could definitely be some levels in here, maybe there on the 114, 115 area. But we'll see if we continue to use this 106 level as some nice support. I typically don't trade when the stocks are in between the EMAs, so I'll probably leave this one alone. I did make some foolish trades on this. It was really kind of forcing it on Friday. I'm going to go into some more detail about it when I do my Apple review. But I'm going to leave that alert there because it's above the daily 9 EMA. Let's see if we can reclaim that daily EMA and push back higher towards the high of this consolidation here, towards that 132-ish level. I'm going to move this down to the strong there. Netflix I like to the downside for sure. Consolidating underneath the daily 9 EMA. Looking for a break and retest of these Thursday and Friday lows. Let's see if we get it tomorrow. Palantir, another weak one. Not in love with this setup here. There's a lot going on. We're slightly trending to the downside, but it's not really enough to get me that interested. I'm actually going to move this down to the weak section there, and we'll go to Oracle. Oracle, another level here around that 200 level, nice psych level. You can see all the retest of that level, so some solid resistance at that area. I'll look for a break and retest above that 200 spot, but I'll leave that there in top watch. Next, Broadcom just kind of barcoding. We're in this kind of zone around the EMAs. Definitely don't love it. I'll move this to the strong. Google I really like. I would love to see us break above these all-time highs here and get a nice retest. I'm trying to keep my watch list a little more dialed in. I feel like I've been having a lot more stocks in my top watch that it's difficult to focus on one trade. So I'm trying to look for those major levels on a handful of stocks, maybe 4 or 5 stocks, and really focus on those setups, just because I believe that they would have a higher probability. And I've been kind of taking some like B-, B+ setups lately, and a lot of them just have not been working out. So I need to see a few more solid green trades just to get my confidence back and just increase my probability percentage here. But moving on to NVIDIA. NVIDIA has earnings actually, so I'm going to get rid of this alert, and I'm going to move this down to my earnings section. I definitely will not be trading that this week until earnings happens on Wednesday. So Thursday, I'll bring it back, take a look at, see if we have any setups for Thursday and Friday. AMD, definitely don't love it. This looks pretty heavy. This is again the daily 9 EMA. We could break that and continue down towards the daily 20 EMA. We'll see. I am going to move this down to the previous day high. This could be, maybe it's a trend line. It's not the cleanest trend line there, but we could break in above previous day high and break that trend line. So possibly. I definitely don't love how weak that was at the end of the day on Friday. So we'll see what happens there. All right, next up, Amazon. Amazon came down, retested the daily 20 EMA. Let's see if we can get back above the daily 9 EMA, and I'll look for a break and retest of these Thursday highs just to hopefully get out of this kind of consolidation here. And then I would look for a trade higher up to this kind of 280 area there. Definitely need some strength from SPY and QQQ to help that one out. ARM, don't love it. Just kind of in this zone here. Closed pretty weak on Friday. I'm just gonna leave that alert there just in case we pop above there, but I'll leave that right there. Tesla closed weak. It was on a little run, but now we're kind of failing the daily 9 EMA. That looks pretty heavy. That's not a very pleasant looking candle. I'll probably just leave that stock alone. Hood, really need it to get out of this range. I have an alert set for these Thursday highs. However, I think I'm also going to set an alert for kind of the low of this consolidation area here. So we'll see if we cross it down. So we'll see if we have a weak market, this could be a decent one here. You can see all the retests around that level there. This definitely looks like a level to kind of keep your eye on. Here we'll see where Hood wants to go tomorrow, but I don't know. The daily doesn't look like anything special. Definitely, let's put an alert. Maybe not an alert, but we'll put a level there underneath that 63 area. I like that. You can see that we came up, kind of hit around this 63 area, not perfect, and then we rejected off of it, then came back up, we broke, and then ripped higher, and now on Monday, on March 30th, we came down, we hit these lows at the 63 area, and we're pushing higher. So we'll see. When do we have earnings? Not till August, so we got a little while. But there you go. That would definitely be a nice, I would really like that play under the 63 area. That would be a really nice setup for a break and retest to the downside. I just want to see what do I have this white line here? Thought I had a white line on the daily somewhere. Yeah, it's 44 area. What do I have that marked out for? Let me get rid of that. But yeah, really, the level that is really interesting to me is that 63 area. But this one's weak. I'm gonna move it down here. SMCI. SMCI, I kind of came back underneath this daily 200 EMA. Not really looking to trade it until we get back above it. I have that alert there. It's definitely not very strong. Let's go on to MSTR. Again, kind of looking for it to break above the daily 200 EMA. It's just kind of inside. It's holding the daily 20 EMA pretty nicely, but nothing too exciting looking there. SoFi I do like to the downside. I would like to possibly play this one from 15. Yeah, and there's not a ton of space, but let's see what we have on the weekly, if there's any major levels here. Yeah, this one's always kind of iffy. I haven't traded SoFi in a little while. I do like this 15 area here. You can see we came down on March 30th, and then we're kind of coming back down to a very similar level. So let's see if we break 15 and continue lower. But again, not really one that I've traded very often. If I remember correctly, the contracts, I know that last time I was in it, they just didn't really move as much as I wanted it to. Microsoft, not really jumping out at me, just kind of consolidating. Meta went up, tried to break the daily 90 EMA. This is just kind of hovering here for the last few days. See if we can break back below 600 and then come back down. It would really be nice if we came back down to the lows from late March, but that would be a pretty big move, but we'll see. Kind of just going sideways, not really anything too crazy. Coin, if we can break previous day low, there's be a nice move to the downside. Let's see if we get any movement from coin there. Again, kind of just going sideways, but I would love to see it break down and get these EMAs to kind of fan out and just start to trend lower, kind of very similar to this setup here. So let's see if we can get that going again, because right now just going sideways, it's just real flat, just kind of ping-ponging back and forth. So we'll see. Not totally interested in it. So my top watch for tomorrow is Apple, Netflix, Oracle, and Google. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow me on X at SmokeyBlue018. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.